gonna get my due as a character that could only ever show up in an episode of Law and Order SVU.
As the villain,
I mean, be real.
to be clear. Actually, he could have been the cop, too. Like, let's just...
Yeah.
It could have gone either way.
It could go either way. He could be Stabler or one of the perps.
Or both at the same time!
Hello, and welcome to the Skiffy and Fanny Show's Torture Cinema!
And a totally normal film about dinosaurs.
I'm Sean.
I'm Jen.
I'm Robert.
And today, for Torture Cinema, we're talking about the 1948 Cinecolor adventure film, Unknown Island, written by Robert T. Shannon and Jack Harvey, and directed by Jack Bernhard. It stars Virginia Gray, Philip Reed, and Richard Denning. It has a 5.0 rating on IMDb, a 15% on the Rotten Tomatoes popcorn meter, and because Daniel's obsessed with Letterboxd now, a 2.9 on Letterboxd.
Great! This film was selected by our lovely Patreon supporters based on a poll of dinosaurs, a theme suggested by Dan the Transient, although technically Dan suggestion was dinosaurs for no reason, just added to the movie because dinosaurs. But Daniel forgot to add all that. If you're not yet subscribed to our Patreon, please join and get a chance to suggest future torture for us, force it upon us by voting in upcoming polls, and even join us watching it live on Discord, all for as low as $1 a month.
All right. Yay!
Are you going to introduce Robert?
Yay!
It's not in the script, so Robert doesn't
too.
exist.
It is
Where?
too. It says introduce/welcome Robert.
Where?
Right
at the
under
beginning.
H3, I'm Robert.
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh!
Giant
Well,
letters.
he didn't write anything for me, so you know what? Hi, Robert. Who the hell are you?
Apparently I'm no one. But I'm here
No.
to have fun. I'm Robert. Hi. Been listening to the show for a while.
I'm sorry. For
No
both,
worries.
both, not for many things. You can interpret that however you like. So in the script, all it says is introduce, welcome, Robert. But I didn't read that. I just started reading the text underneath it.
Yeah.
So
That's why
I
you
was just
have
following
me
the
to
script.
remind you. That's why you have me to remind you of your failures.
Can you believe I'm sober? Okay. Well, before we get into the mess that is this movie, we got to get to what we're drinking. As a reminder, you are not required to drink alcohol. If you do drink alcohol, you must do so responsibly. That is a Skiffy and Fanty order. There will be no drinking and driving. You will not do illegal activities while you are on any beverage of any kind, whether that contains THC, other substances, alcohol, I don't know, mescaline, whatever you are doing with your life, drink responsibly. And so, Robert, you're first up. What beverage are you drinking?
I am drinking a Green River soda.
Oh, it's green.
I haven't had one of these things in a long time. A friend of mine got me a 6-pack for my birthday.
Ooh.
What is its flavor? Is it like green apple?
That's kind of up in the air. Some people say lemon lime, some people say green apple. I haven't had one in years, so I can't remember.
You're going to
How
have
do
to
you have
report
something
back.
that tastes like two very different things?
Sharp,
Tastes differ.
sharp and refreshing?
Let's find out.
Do it. Oh, there. You've even got that like tss on there.
Nice. It looks very refreshing.
More of a lemon lime.
More of a lemon lime.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's like 7-Up, just green.
Yeah.
Do you think
That
you're going to
works.
Hulk out after this?
No.
Okay. Got it. Because it's a very, very green beverage, to be clear.
I thought
Yes,
it was
it
the
is.
bottle. So
No, the beverage is green. The
Yeah,
bottle's
yeah.
clear.
now I know. That's
How about you,
fabulous.
Jen?
I am actually, finishing I just finished a very old Dunkin' refresher, and I am now
A what?
switching to a Corona Extra. They did not sponsor this show, so you did not get to see their logo.
But if Corona wants to sponsor this show, we're cheap.
Very cheap.
We're cheaper than Vin Diesel. We won't even require us to save family, any of that stuff.
Yeah, and we do really good product placement in
Honestly,
our
I'm not gonna
skits.
lie. If Corona did, they're like, we'll pay you $100 if you just make sure there's always a Corona on screen. I was like, okay.
Okay, that's sold. Only
Sold.
$100 once, and we have to do it for every show. You know what?
Okay,
Why
well, no.
not?
No, per month. Per month.
Oh, per month.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
yeah.
fair.
Yeah, no, come on now. I'm not that ridiculous.
Yeah, it would cost more than $100 just to buy the Corona. So
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
inflation and all that.
True.
What are you drinking, Jen?
Jen,
Sean?
you just did yourself.
I just did myself. Yeah. What are you drinking, Sean?
I got 2 for tonight. There's an Aldi just down the street from where I live. So it's real easy to get down there and get Aldi branded beverages. I tried to see if they had a port, and they do not have a port. And since I don't like wine, I went with beer. And so I've got 2. I've got this beauty, which is the Lockens Tropical Pineapple Kolsch style beer,
Yum.
which is not bad, actually. Sorry, it's not bad. I mean, it's mass produced, and it's just fine. And then they're like stout, basically. They're dry Irish stout, which is they call Maguire's, of course. So yeah, there you go. And it's a stout, and it's suitable. It's not bad. It's better than some other crappy stuff I've had. So
Well, that's
that's what I'm
exciting.
drinking. Yeah,
Wait.
Okay.
I just read the script.
yeah. You're
You
giving the
expect
summary of this
me
film.
to give a summary of Unknown Islands?
So Jen, that is in fact your job, according to the script. Give us a very reasonably brief but detailed summary of this film, including names of characters and the actors who play them, as well as time-stamped production notes about the film. Just to be clear, you're not going to find it, but you're not going to find it, Jen. I see you type it over there.
Look, I can at least pull up the Wikipedia so I can have some of it. So I can give a very brief summary of this movie,
for it.
which is that a gentleman named Ted Osborne and his fiancée Carol, unknown last name, actually, I missed her last name, played by Virginia Gray, have decided to charter a ship to find an island somewhere in the South Pacific that may or may not have, you guessed it, dinosaurs on it. Unfortunately, they hire the worst captain in the South Seas, whose name is Captain Tarnowski.
Yes.
I don't know why they went with like the most. Look, names are weird in movies sometimes. You're like Ted Osborne, Carol, and Fairbanks, and then Captain Tarnowski. Because do we hate Polish people or something? I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if that was part of the...
Right? Exactly. Played by Barton McLean, who actually did a fantastic role as a totally horrible person. And his very common sense first mate, Sanderson. And they all go to the unknown island, and look, there's dinosaurs. Oh, and then, like I said, Fairbanks, who was a drunk, but then isn't a drunk, and he's been to the island before, and he escaped, and, you know, so he leads them back and all that jazz. And they take some photos. Shit happens, you know, and then they leave. And Carol breaks up with Ted Osborne and hooks up with Fairbanks, like you do. Presumably because Ted Osborne was not enough of a man.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into that. He's a little obsessed with his pictures.
Yeah, so there are dinosaurs on the island and also a giant something, sloth, ape.
They call it a sloth, but
They
in
call
the
it a sloth.
production
It looks-
notes, it says gorilla suit. So...
Yeah, but it looks more like a warthog. Like a gorilla warthog.
Kinda.
That's what I'm.
I
Yeah.
can see that.
Definitely not a sloth.
No,
Not even a little bit.
no.
It's like they had literally never seen a sloth before, ever.
I'm not even convinced they've seen a dinosaur before.
I mean, granted, the Brontosaurus were at least shaped sort of Brontosaurus-y.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct.
And that's what
They were the only almost convincing dinosaurs in this movie.
They were. I don't know what the other creatures were, but there was at least a somewhat Brontosaurus-y shaped brontosaur type creature. So
They
yeah.
say Tyrannosaurus, but I'm not convinced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
They're very tiny Tyrannosauruses.
let's
Unless
just
this
say
film...
that those modern Tyrannosaurus Rex like blow up costumes are more accurate than the
Yes, they are.
dinosaurs in this movie. So
More animated too.
much more animated. Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen Velocipaster where he basically morphs into one of those and eats people.
Yes, Velocipaster had more accurate dinosaurs than Unknown Island.
Yes.
So that just kind of, yeah. Anyway, that basically is the plot of the film. Obviously, other stuff happens, but none of it's important, really.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah.
That is correct. Okay. So Robert is our guest today. And so I want to make sure Robert gets to talk an obscene amount. And so that means when we get to our likes and dislikes, we will begin with Robert. And so Robert, what is your like for this film?
The one like I really did have was the fact that the iguana-looking dinosaur towards the end looked a little stoned. He had his head tilted, he had the big eyes going on, and in my mind I just had this whole thing where they actually had somebody from the crew coming in and doping him up or something to make him look a little stoned and keep him under control.
Your like is that there was a potentially stoned iguana monster.
Yes.
Since it
Sure.
Yeah, since it was just a puppet, I'm pretty sure that the puppet master was also themselves stoned, given how little activity those iguana monsters actually engaged in.
I mean, they don't do much, right? They just kind of
don't.
like wander on the ground
Uh-huh.
and menace.
Yes.
Yeah, but they with one face, so it's more like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. Nothing gets facial expressions that
No.
not a human in this.
no,
Right.
not even. I mean, and the humans don't have a lot of facial expressions, but
That's true. That is accurate. That everyone gets one facial expression.
one
Right.
facial
The captain
expression.
leers and
Leers,
at
yes,
women mostly.
yes.
The like fiance just has fascination face on most of the time, and
Yes.
Fairbanks has like when he's drunk he's got drunk face, but then when he's not drunk he has like I'm gonna steal your girl face.
Yeah, that snarky, swarthy, like if he were a woman, he'd be flipping his hair over his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd
That's
pull
the
a
face.
Fabio just like whoosh.
Yeah,
You know?
but with a little snark, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Sanderson just looks capable all the time.
Yes. Why isn't he in charge?
We don't know.
Apparently the captain is really good at fist fights.
Yes. yes. Like, to be honest, he's probably the best actor in this movie.
That's fair.
Except that his character is just abominable. But he really bought into that role. He sold it, right?
Hook, line,
This
and
is the
sinker.
one.
Yeah.
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 That was his Oscar performance.
No, he was like, "This is it. I'm gonna get the recognition I deserve. I've been doing this role since the movies didn't have talking lines.
Yeah.
Gonna get my due as a character that could only ever show up in an episode of Law and Order SVU."
As the villain,
Be
to
real.
be clear. Actually, he could have been the cop, too. Like, let's just...
Yeah,
It could have gone either way.
could go either way. He could be Stabler or one of the perps.
Or both at the same time!
I imagine we're just gonna come back to it because, like, Robert, your whole like is just this one creature, and I'm gonna guess we're coming back to talk about the rest of the cast of creatures that are in this.
We might touch on that, yes.
I imagine so.
Oh, that's
So, all
hilarious.
right, stoned iguanas, excellent.
Excellent, yes. I liked
All right,
when
Jen,
it
you're-
died and it looked exactly the same. That was classic.
Yeah, it turns out its entire life is just experiencing things stoned.
Yes.
Not a bad existence, given the island it's on.
The Cheech and Chong of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, yeah. I like that. We'll call them the Cheech and Chongguanas.
Chicken John Juanas. Okay, that's fair.
Trademarked. All right, Jen, you're like, go.
I didn't actually really think of one, so
Wow.
Okay,
It's your one
Only because,
job,
like,
Jen.
this is not like this is neither like a really hateable film, but nor is it a really likable film, right? Like there's just it's just mid. It's just
That's fair.
it's very mid for a B movie.
Whoa, hold on. It is not a B movie. This is a D movie, Jen.
Okay, right. D movie. I mean, it was basically a B movie of the 1940s, right? Like it's
This doesn't even have a production company. The production was done by a guy, and then it was distributed by another company. Right? This is so far down. It doesn't even have what, like, David, if he were here, would come out and be like, let me tell you the history of like the like sub level 3 Hollywood studios where they did films for $13 and free coffee.
okay,
Right?
yeah.
They don't even have that.
But you know what? They did get one thing, and that's Ray the Crash Corrigan, which is quite a coup. Because the
Go
man
on.
was basically the monster in dozens of films.
Okay.
They probably also filmed part of this at his ranch, which, like, good for him. Like, he just was cornering the market on this film. So, you know, I gotta give it to him, even though, so, Ray the Crash Corrigan played the sloth / warthog / ape creature. And he's barely on film because for some reason they decided to throw this creature in. And I think it's really just because Ray, the Crash Corrigan, was like, you know, you could rent out my property for this movie. And as a bonus, I'll play the sloth. And they're like, you know what? We did need another monster who actually, like, moved a little. And also, we're trying to be like King Kong, except that clearly we're not, so let's go for it. And they got Ray the Crash Corrigan, and they got a big ape / warthog creature to be in their movie. And given the fact that he literally is in, like, tons of movies as a gorilla,
Yeah.
tons of
Literally.
movies, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yep. Bob Hope bought his ranch, by the way.
Oh, well, good for him.
Yeah.
No,
Named it
it's
Hopetown. I'm
it's
not kidding.
wild.
That's-
I think he made more money, like, renting out his property than he ever did playing a gorilla, but, like, mad props to the man.
Yeah, but like he clearly has fun.
So much fun.
He got paid to do like the one thing he probably lived for.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, I could be an ape. That's what I look forward to in my life. Just want to play an ape. I don't need anything else. I don't care if my kids love me. I don't even care if my marriage hangs out for very long because I've been married twice and divorced twice. But still, but at least I get to play an ape in the movies.
Yeah.
I realize
But really,
I'm probably
like,
gonna get
if
sued
you-
by his estate.
If you love 1940s and 50s films, mostly 40s, but if you like 1940s films and there's an ape in it, 9 times out of 10, it was Ray the Crash Corrigan. So, and he's in this one. You know.
Well, to be clear, he was actually a little bit of a movie star. His like big breakthrough role was Undersea Kingdom, which is like Universal, like a response to Universal's Flash Gordon, basically.
Yes.
I don't know if it's good. I've never seen it.
He
I have
was
no idea.
mostly in movies that were responses to better movies, but
Yes, that's fair. Including this one.
including this one.
Yeah. I mean, so when we watched it, Trish mentioned, I think it was Trish, was watching with us. Trish basically mentioned that this is just King Kong, but
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, so one of the things that I read was actually really interesting, which was that Peter Jackson must have watched this and been influenced by it before he did his King Kong version, because there are a lot of similarities between the two films. And I can kind of see that. Like, it's not that
It's
much like King
superficial.
Kong. Yeah, it's like, it's a very superficial glance at King Kong. It's like the first section of King Kong, and they just left off the rest because they ended it with what, granted, is probably the best ending that one could have in a giant monster movie, which is the woman going, hey, boyfriend, you actually kind of suck. I'm going to go with this guy. And they live happily ever after, which is not a bad
Well, hold on,
ending
you're missing
either.
a detail. The fiance, like, she Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry. Okay. Apparently, this is gonna come up later. So I
Treading
will
on a
shut it
dislike.
You know it's going to come up later.
down. Okay.
I
All
mean,
right,
good
fine.
for Carol, sort of.
Yes.
But
I
did she
mean,
trade
Fairbanks-
up, really?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
It's,
a side-
questionable. It's suspect.
It's a sideways trade, for sure.
Lateral move.
I mean, keep
But at
in
least
mind,
it's not Captain Karnowski, which was her
Oh,
third
Jesus.
option.
well, like, if you think about Fairbanks, right? Like, a matter of, well, technically weeks, because weeks is the travel time. But, like,
Yeah.
just a few weeks ago, he was a drunk.
Yes, he was a
I
washed
don't know.
up drunk.
I don't know. I mean, I get it's 1948, so maybe they don't understand what alcoholism is at this point. But like,
I think they
you
do.
don't just like cold turkey alcoholism away and then never want a drop just because you met a lady you like. That's like not how it works. So there's pain coming down the pipe here.
Yeah, I don't think she cares though because she's literally independently wealthy. So like she
That's
gives
true.
no fucks. She's just going for the hottest guy.
Do you think she just goes through them? It's just like,
Well,
you're my
I would
latest
if I were
curiosity.
her. I'm just saying I would if I were her.
She's
That
going for the
seems
dangerous
nice,
guy.
But
Go with
Fairbanks
the
was
dangerous
clearly
guy.
more interesting.
Well, hold on. So, like, this would suggest that this entire film, if taken from her lens, is a suggestion that men are largely disposable.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
If we take this through a feminist reading, Carol wins.
if you remember the first part of the movie, to me anyway, it looked like when they went into the bar to meet Tarnowski, she was kind of looking around with an eye. You know, she
Oh,
wasn't
yeah.
just going, "Oh, that's a dangerous thing." Or she was like, you know,
No, she's a clearly confident woman
hmm
based on that first scene.
yeah,
And
Oh,
like
very.
Ted tries to treat her like oh, but it's so dangerous in here. And she's like, it's no worse than a bar in New York City.
yep,
In like the most like typical New York City lady voice that one could have in Hollywood type of thing. Aside from her fear, like totally rational fear of the monsters, she stays fairly confident throughout. Yes, she, ends up needing a rescue in the end, but at first she's rescuing her damn self.
yep.
Well, hold for it, because this is where I know that this was written by a man. Because while she's completely confident, right? Her intro in this is, as Robert was rightly pointing out, is this like really fun little line where like Ted's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for taking you in here, honey," and she's just like, "Whatever. Like I've been in worse place in New York because I am a cool chick." There's all this confidence, and then the second they get to the island, it's like all of that intelligence and confidence is just like switched off like a light switch, because there's multiple moments when they're like, yeah, so the island's super dangerous and nobody should wander out by themselves. And she just goes, "I'm going to go for a walk." And I'm like, lady, there were T-Rexes 5 seconds ago and a giant spiny iguana that's stoned that was harassing you. And you're
Okay.
wandering in the woods alone.
She's not, though. She specifically says to him, I'm not going to go far, and she doesn't. She immediately finds Fairbanks. I'm just saying. So it's written by a dude because the entire time the dudes are like, oh, we must save the little lady. But the little lady, meanwhile, is just kind of like, no, fuck off. Seriously, I'm fine.
Jen.
What?
She wore heels in the jungle.
Yeah, she put
So
on a
did
pretty
Bryce
dress.
Dallas Howard.
Yeah, she put on a pretty dress in order to make herself feel better. That's a totally rational response to stress if you happen to like dresses.
Not in an unknown island full of murderous dinosaurs and a sloth gorilla man.
And she rationally says, you know what, I think it's time to go, when it's clearly time to go.
Yeah, but I mean, that's fair. Fairbanks, though, said that
Yeah.
before they even got there. He kept saying
Well,
the whole
yeah.
way, like, we should stop, we should go back, we should
Granted-
stop, we should stop.
Fairbanks is the first smartest person. The second
Yeah.
smartest are the Laskys.
Yeah,
The third is Sanderson. Carol is somewhere down near the bottom, I will grant you, but she's still above Tarnowski and Osborne.
Yes.
fair point. I like, Robert, a little bit ago, you mentioned Bryce Dallas Howard because she's in the Jurassic World films and does exactly that, right? Wearing heels and stuff in completely inappropriate situations.
Yep.
I would die, but
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that any person in heels of any description is gonna do well against dinosaurs. Unless they're
Probably
dinos in this
not.
movie. Because the dinos in this movie don't really move very
I
much.
mean, technically, regardless of footwear, you're not going to do well against dinosaurs.
That's true. But you know, at least I can like get disillusioned. Like I can you know manipulate myself to believe that I can do like sick parkour tricks and get away from dinosaurs.
You would technically, be more deluded than the lady in heels at that point.
Like I'm the guy who like is like, all right, I'm definitely gonna do this parkour trick, but I do like some jump over the bench and I do it really well, but I think I've got it. And that's when the head of the T-Rex comes up and gets me as I'm going over the bench. So you just see my face be like, yeah.
Crunch. Yeah. We should definitely make a dinosaur movie.
Oh man, that would be so fun. But we don't. I don't know, man. Like we gotta have a budget for that. No, we
Yep.
don't. You
No,
can
they
make
didn't.
this shit.
But yeah, exactly. What's your like?
Oh Jesus! This film sucks. I'm gonna say this. We've kind of mentioned it already, and I just agree that everything about Barton McLean's portrayal as Captain Turnowski he is remarkably good at being a person you hate and want to die. Like literally the second he said something sexist in the bar at the beginning, all of us in chat while we were watching it together were immediately like, oh, I can't wait for him to die. Because that was our hope for right away. And so every time it seemed like this is the moment he's getting killed and he didn't, we were like, damn it, that was it. That was the moment. And he lives through most of the film and then does in fact die, but you know, being eaten / beat up by a sloth gorilla.
You know what's
and so
disappointing?
he's just so good.
He is. He did a fantastic job. The most disappointing thing I think is that his death, Fairbanks doesn't get to hear him scream, I don't think, because they had already
Right.
run off. And I'm like, but that was his moment.
That was the line he says, right? I want to like hear you die screaming, you know?
You know, I think I will come. I want to hear you scream when you see the dinosaur.
It'd be so cool. Like that was like the last thing he sees is Fairbanks like watching him from a cliff face, right, where he's up on there watching him being eaten alive. Like that'd be cold as shit, but amazing.
Amazing.
It would be, but no.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tarnowski's just great. He is every much the villain. He's lecherous. He's just gross. He's sexually assaulty. He's in every way just such a slimy human. As far as characterization goes, he's like the most well-built. Like there's no question about exactly what kind of person he is, and they give him plenty of scenes where he gets to be this really horrible person. And I don't know, like I'm not saying I like him, right? Tarnowski's a horrible monster, but it's good. It's just a very good portrayal of a disgusting person.
Yeah.
Who gets what they deserve.
And like I said, I think he actually legitimately is the best actor in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carol does a pretty good job, to be honest. Like she's not bad. The other characters were mostly pretty flat. Like, but granted, the script is mostly flat, except for that whole opening scene, which actually was a pretty smart initial scene. But it all kind of just goes to shit after that. So
yeah, fair.
Yeah, and then he went on to be in I Dream of Jeannie. So big fan of Barton McLean. Yeah, he was on for like 35 episodes. He played the Air Force general.
Good for him.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he did. Oh.
Yeah, he was in a ton of films. So.
Oh yeah, he was definitely had a long, very long. Jesus, he was in so many movies. So there you go. Deserved. He's a good actor. I think he did a very good job as his character with the like saltine cracker script that they gave him.
He is such like a generic like charter captain directly post World War II.
Yes.
You really cannot get more like, I am a salty sea captain. I hate men because they're beneath me, and I hate women because they don't like me enough.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't get a woman with my charm alone, so I gotta be a lecherous turd and steal people's. Yeah.
Carol actually has a line about like his charm, like given your charm, I'm not surprised. I can't remember what it is he said, but it was, kind of to the effect of like nobody likes me or something, and that's her rejoinder. Yeah. So like a lot of the script like was smart. It's just that it's in this backdrop of bland.
It's because the film they should have made would have been a film we wouldn't cover because it wouldn't be genre. They should have just saved all that budget and made like a sort of vaguely action high seas romance, basically. Like a three-way romance where like these two men are trying to get the lady and then you have the lecherous captain. The second they added the dinosaurs, it's like, this has gone to shit.
Yeah, it's weird because usually I'm like, yeah, dinosaurs. But in this, it's like, oh, please just take the dinosaurs away.
Normally, you don't have that reaction to dinosaurs. Normally, you're like, give me more.
No. I mean, I like the movie Baby, whatever the last part is, and it's only a 6%, but it has a baby dinosaur.
Yeah, this is the kind of film where you get about 10 minutes into the dinosaur scenes, and you're like, yeah, we could do with less. Can we talk about it? Whose dislike is the dinosaurs? Who says it?
I'll take it.
You'll take it? Go for it.
Yeah, I mean,
technically, Robert's supposed to go first,
so... Let Robert go first, then.
Robert's going to go first. Okay.
I'm going to throw you guys for a loop here and say my dislike is the fact that it took him 30 minutes to get to the dang island. More dinosaurs only could have helped this movie. Yeah. At least it was something besides just talking heads. Everybody trying to impress Carol except Ted because he was obsessed with photographs.
Okay, on one hand, I agree. Much less time on the boat. But in reality, I think we should have just, like, cut this film in maybe, I don't know, a quarter. And just had, like, 5 minutes in the bar, 5 minutes on the boat, 5 minutes on the island. The end.
Yeah. We call that a short film, Jen, not a feature film.
This should have been a short film.
But then we wouldn't have got those epic fight scenes with the dinosaurs.
Stupid fights! They're so dumb!
The grenade launcher? Oh, yeah. We haven't even mentioned the grenade launchers.
No, we have not. There's like World War II era grenade launchers. They're just shoving potato mashers in the air at them. I saw it in IMDb. I could not verify that this is true. So it's an IMDb like myth I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna guess they did it because they needed this film to be more interesting. But there's a trivia note in there which says like when one of the dinosaurs falls down from a quote unquote grenade hit, it was actually the guy inside passing out because there's no air in the suit, and then the note continues that the guy died. And so the director just thought, I just really like this scene, so I'm gonna
keep it in there.
I want to be clear. I don't think that's true because I can find no reference to that anywhere else.
Oh my goodness. Can I just say that totally plausible?
Yeah. But Robert's saying more dinosaurs, please. I want more
stone dinosaurs.
More stone dinosaurs walking very slowly while we're supposed to believe that they're being menacing. You want 50 straight minutes of dinosaurs, like, waddling across fields.
Robert, there is a solid 20 minutes of this film that is only dinosaurs waddling towards them, supposedly, and they're so scared that they have to launch grenades at them. I'm just saying. That scene is interminable. It just fucking kept going and going. And then, like, when you finally think it's going to stop, it doesn't.
Nope.
There's another 5 minutes of them waddling away.
I was hoping to see zippers in the backs of those costumes.
You're looking for things to laugh at.
Yeah. I mean, you need more of that in this movie.
I mean, why didn't they make more like little dinosaurs?
Not menacing enough?
Well, yeah, but then it would feel more lived in, you know? Like, here's like a little like puppet we got and it goes, you know?
I forgot my actual I just remembered it because we just talked about how this movie needed more chances to laugh at it. I loved the fact that in the first scene, this film has a laugh track, y'all. There's an actual fucking laugh track in the first 5 minutes. Yes, in that first scene, when he like gets in the fight with the people in the side room and throws them out, there's a whole ass laugh track going on, as if you're to assume that the bar is laughing at what's happening, but it's just a fucking laugh track. So you have like, you know, the punch, swing, toss, crash.
I have to watch that part again.
It's amazing. It's genuinely like, what is even happening in this movie? I was disappointed that laugh track didn't continue through the rest of the film.
That would not be nice to the rest of this film, which wants us to take it seriously.
I really, like, the only thing I could think of was that you're meant to, like, assume that the bar is suddenly paying attention and laughing at them, but it's done so oddly and directly after a point in time where everybody otherwise is completely ignoring everything that is happening in this bar because it's a typical bar. Nobody gives a shit if you, like, and it's supposed to be like a sailor bar. Nobody cares if he's, like, kicking people out of a room at all. They don't even care when he grabs a bottle from someone else. Like, it just doesn't matter. Yeah. And suddenly they're laughing? No. Laugh track. It was glorious. I was like, did they film this in front of a studio audience?
They could very well have done so, because some of this was definitely done on sets. What, do you think they did it on location, Jen, at the Unknown Island?
All of this was done on sets. No, except for the desert scenes, apparently, which I think were done at Ray the Crash Corrigan's Ranch. I would not be surprised anyway.
And all through that, no Wilhelm scream.
No, none.
None? Mm-hmm.
No, the only one who really screams is the cat.
But also, Robert, they can't afford the Wilhelm scream.
Yes, it's probably too expensive.
The royalty's too high. Oh, fun fact. Since we're talking about royalties and things like that, this film technically is in the public domain because they didn't register the copyright for it in time. So even though they did register copyright and renewed it in 1976, according to the internet, it's technically invalid, and so the film is in the public domain.
Huh.
So if you want to pirate it, you don't have to. Yeah, remake this film. I mean, you could remake this film and make it not shit. That is true.
I mean, because one of the things that is actually like a kind of nice thing about the plot of this movie is that legitimately the guy is like, I'm just here to take pictures. That's all I want from this expedition. It's a scientific expedition, even though I have zero scientific training myself. I am interested in it for the science, also the fame, but like the science and the pictures. And then he's like, and then we can jet. And then it's Captain Tarnowski that, of course, ruins everything because he's just a monster.
Lecherous.
I mean, like, granted, they hired a guy whose sole job in life is to, like, capture wild animals.
Yeah.
I've been doing it since I was 8 years old.
As you do.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
As we agreed, my dislike is the dinosaurs. And only because, like, I'm pretty sure I saw this as a kid. And as a kid, I probably thought these were cool-ass dinosaurs.
No, you didn't.
Because I was very easily satisfied by giant monsters. Except that they were so... I'm saying, like, I probably saw it when I was, like, 5 or 6 years old, right? Like, I was young. My dad loved monster movies. So, even the worst of them.
Oh, so your dad punished you by making you watch this?
Yes, I'm sure he did. No, like, we basically watched any movie that had... like anything in it that was science fiction, right? And he loved 1940s science fiction films because that's what he grew up on. So like to come back to something like this and just be like, okay, like this doesn't sound that awful, and then be subjected to 20 minutes of waddling T-Rexes. There is so much time on screen for these dinosaurs. Robert is insane. At least 50% of this film is just watching the dinosaurs move. And by move, I don't actually really mean move. Or I mean move in the loosest sense of the term. Slide. sliding. The
Pulled on a
iguanas
string.
slide. Yeah. The ape moves because it's, Ray the Crash Gorgon, so that does move. It takes 10 minutes for him to fight a T-Rex.
That was an epic battle.
Yeah.
No,
it was something. It was a something battle. Epic
it was
might be
not
a little
battle.
bit strong.
It was like, it was the weirdest fight because, like, they do bite each other, but mostly they just, like, lean on each other. And I guess that was, like my kid and I will do that sometimes where we'll, like, lean on each other and it's like, who's stronger, who can lean better, right? But that's not a fight. That's just who has more mass.
Yeah. And the warthog face apparently did a better job of biting. So,
That's true.
I mean, honestly, their fight looks about the same as the altercation between Captain Tarnowski and Claire. That's not her name. Carol.
Carol.
When he's assaulting her, because he just like leans into her shoulder for like to, mac on her. And she just kind of like shoves him off. That's almost exactly what the dinosaur versus warthog ape slosh.
Well, they could only afford one fight coordinator.
That is a very valid point.
Yeah. And
I
the
think
fight
you might
coordinator
be
they got
onto
was very
something.
cheap. Yeah. He's not an expensive one.
I think you might be onto something.
Yeah.
The only actually like good fight in that movie is the Fairbanks versus Tarnowski. Like that was
Yeah.
a good beat 'em up. And I have to admit the laugh track actually was appropriate because him getting like just like walloping on these two sailors, he gets hit over the head with a bottle, just doesn't even notice it. He picks up both of the women. He just like bodily like lifts the two women that are in there with the sailors and throws them out the door. It was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. That's why I say he's good at fist fights.
It was very good at this.
Weirdly. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It was an almost good fist fight too that we got.
In the T-Rex's defense, it didn't have real arms.
No, there were like little like appendages that they could sort of move up and down a little bit, but they didn't
No.
do anything.
They didn't move up and down. The body shifted forwards and backwards.
Sorry. Sorry, I've gotten my directions wrong again, Jen.
They just had little stick hands.
They were like sticks. They were literally sticks with some molding over them. So
I'll work on that, Jen. The up down flat thing is still messing up with me.
No, you said the arms themselves were moving up and down, and it wasn't
Fine.
just the arms themselves. That would denote like independent movement on the arms part.
So
which there was
Trish
none.
in chat, by the way, did want to note that the 16 years earlier we get the other King Kong movie, which has better dinosaurs than this.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, thought I'd bring that up.
The technology was there.
The technology was there. They could have used it, but they didn't.
They chose not to.
Yeah.
I'm
They
pretty
chose
sure the
not to.
brontosauruses were just like little clay that like their 10-year-old made. Here's some clay. Make a
I
brontosaurus
think they were
for me.
miniatures. Like they were just like
I am not
toys
sure
that they put on little things.
I don't think the brontosauruses were. They literally looked like clay, but not like claymation. Like we're gonna do a
No.
claymation clay.
Oh,
I mean,
like a
maybe-
clay statue.
Like
Yeah.
a clay statue.
Yeah, they fired it in the kiln at their house. No,
I don't
at
even think they
Corrigan
did
Land
that.
or whatever
it was
it's
just
called.
it was just I think not even clay, Play-Doh.
Played.
They were
Okay.
Play-Doh brontosauruses.
Hey, Jen, we can't talk about Play-Doh on here. That we don't have the copyright to that.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
Generic substance.
Modeling clay.
Modeling clay.
Putty.
Modeling the salt-based goop.
Flour and salt
Yeah.
mixture. Homemade,
Yeah,
of course.
Sorry, Hasbro, which I assume owns Play-Doh. We didn't mean to step on any toes.
Was Play-Doh even invented in the 1940s? We don't know.
Paul would know. Paul's in
Paul-
chat.
Paul is
I'll
definitely
find
that
out.
ancient, right, Paul?
Play-Doh. It is owned by Hasbro. God, I feel so smart right now.
Everything's owned by Hasbro.
Let's see. Yes, but it was being used as a wallpaper cleaner at this point. It was reworked and marketed to Cincinnati schools in the mid-50s, but it was first
Fascinating.
manufactured as a wallpaper cleaner.
How does...
I don't know. Get some Play-Doh and rub your wallpaper and see what happens.
I might just do that. Thank you. I don't have
You're
wallpaper,
welcome.
Do it
It's-
for science, Jen.
but... Quick! Do the wallpaper!
Because it was made by a soap manufacturer, not a toy company. It was devised at the request of Kroger Grocery, which wanted a product that could clean
Kroger.
coal residue from wallpaper.
Oh, yeah, it would do that. That makes sense,
Yep.
actually.
And
I
then
mean, now we
apparently, after
literally
World War
use, like,
II, the
cleaning
demand
putty.
for wallpaper cleaning putty shrank substantially because that was due to the increase of popularity of natural gas as the heating implement, which means you would have less coal ash. And so then they had to figure out what to do, and they were like, toys that children can technically eat and not die.
Welcome
That's my
to Church of
paraphrasing.
Cinema, where you get a new fact every month.
You're welcome.
The more you know.
Okay.
Your
I'm
dislike.
supposed to have a like. A dislike.
Oh,
A dislike.
Dislike.
Oh.
Dislike? Are they the same thing? Who knows?
It hasn't come up yet, but I'm going to bring it up. So here we go, because we talked about the dinosaurs, which are terrible, and we talked about a bunch of other stuff that's terrible. The thing that I don't like is that the ending of this film literally is the girl and Fairbanks kind of on each other, and she being like, we're going to go our separate ways. And Ted, who has been engaged to this woman the entire story, is like, okay, that makes sense, and then leaves. And that's the end of our story.
Look.
And
Look. He could have been toxically masculine and fought over her, but he's a gentleman, and he said, I understand.
well, if he was
And
a
moved
gentleman,
on.
he would have listened to her earlier in the story.
Granted, he had his moments of kind of being an idiot,
Kind of.
Yes.
but
But
he
no, no,
did
no, no, no.
actually
No,
agree
no.
to leave the next day when she approached him.
True.
It's just
Yeah,
that
but-
Tarnowski is a piece of shit and
Well,
ruined
right, but-
their plans.
Well, yes. Okay, I got that. But like, that doesn't solve the problem. He's engaged to a woman, and she has now decided she's going to be with another man. They haven't even got back yet. And he just walks away like nothing. So that tells me one of two things about this man. He really wasn't into her all that much to begin with.
Probably
Which
not.
Just
maybe,
wanted her
but-
money.
He just wanted her money, but I don't know that the story really supports that. It's certainly the case that he's a little bit more preoccupied with his work, his photography, which I kind of get because, like, oh my god, an island with dinosaurs. I might be a little preoccupied,
Yeah.
except for the getting eaten part. Or it suggests that he is like just a wet paper towel. Like he's not a real person.
I
Like
think
he's just not a.
Duke, were you about to say a beta cuck? Because that's what I think you were about to
No, I was not gonna. He's a beta male. He needs to
what it
get on that
sounds like.
Andrew Tate
A
program.
wet napkin? I mean, like, I think, look, I think that to a degree, yes, the plot and the script does, to an extent, support that, right? Because there was a whole discussion about, like, whether or not he was a man, right? I mean,
Right, they-
well,
they do
okay,
that,
so Carol actually doesn't ever say it to Ted. She actually says it to Fairbanks. She, like, insults his manhood because... Oh, but then, no, later, she does actually also say it to Ted because she says something about how
Yeah.
the men will be there to protect me. And
Yes.
Ted is not included in that bunch, if I
Correct.
remember correctly. So I think there is something to that. Like, she definitely...
Yeah.
She picks Fairbanks specifically because at the end of the film, he has, at that point, proven himself to be the man of the situation. Right?
Well, he's a particular
Because-
kind. Yeah.
Right. A particular kind of man. Because Ted is not the one that goes to rescue her. Like, Fairbanks is, like, kind of concerned, you know, like, it's a little bit concerning how much he's obsessed with Carol, but he's a little bit obsessed with Carol. He's just polite about it, unlike Tarnowski. And he consistently is like, Carol's safety, not anybody else's safety, but Carol's safety, Carol's safety, Carol's safety. And when it comes down to it, at the end, when Carol is kidnapped by Tarnowski, plot point, which we haven't mentioned at all until this point in time, he wakes up early, leaves Osborne behind, and he takes action, right? So yeah, there is some support to him being a bit of a wet blanket and not the man in this situation. You can definitely read it as they decided that Ted Osborne, the scientist, the man obsessed with photography, and not like kidnapping monsters or something, is less manly than Fairbanks the alcoholic. I would agree.
Okay.
I think that's a completely valid reading of the ending of this.
Yes.
That said, he is kind of a polite guy, so it totally makes sense that he'd be like, yeah, no, I'm good with this.
But it doesn't though. Like, if you're engaged to somebody and then she didn't break off the engagement, then get with another guy, in which case I would say he'd being very toxic if he's like upset that, they broke it off and then she was another man and then he was like upset. Then I would say that's very toxic. But he was literally engaged the entire trip, and then at the end of their survival adventure, then he finds out, oh, my fiance is just going to be with this other guy, and there's like nothing from him. And I just don't, that to me doesn't make sense. There should be an emotional reaction, and then maybe he comes to that realization that, oh, okay, but like, I kind of get it. You're right. I'm like a little too obsessed with my work. Maybe I wasn't doing, but like, there's none of that. It's just like, oh, okay, well, good luck. Bye. Like, that's not, that's a ridiculous reaction. I'm not saying I want him to.
He does say he understands.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
As a member of the male species, no, he doesn't.
He says it. I'm pretty sure that's what the script is. Whether or not he does understand is that is a different discussion.
Jen, does a bear shit in the woods?
Does a bear shit in the woods? You're right. Okay.
Sorry, does a warthog gorilla sloth monster shit in the woods?
He shits wherever he wants to.
That's true.
Except the beach. They don't go there.
No, apparently not, for reasons we still don't understand. He doesn't like sand. It gets in everything.
That's understandable, actually. I get that. Yeah.
Actually, it would get in everything. The poor warthog gorilla sloth monster, if he was in the sand, it'd get all over in his fur.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a pain in the ass to get out.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And it probably scrapes up the bellies of those slidey iguana monsters. Cheech and Chunguanas.
Cheech and Chunguanas, yes.
Cheech and Chunguanas. That's gonna hurt, that sand, The T-Rexes, honestly, they'd probably just trip on sand. They're not exactly maneuverable, so.
No.
Yeah, and the Brontosaurus just go in the water.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not
man, this
salt
episode...
water. The salt water is bad for their skin.
Right. Correct. Yeah.
Have we said enough about this movie?
I don't know. We could go for another 25 minutes and we'd hit the same runtime.
Yes, I've already said.
Take a drink and we almost killed him.
As I've already said, this movie should have been a quarter of its length.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah. Anyway,
is that true of this podcast?
No, not yet. We're getting there. Okay, no, let's move forward. Final thoughts and grades. We got to do this now because I think we have laughed our tits off enough.
My tits are actually right here. Thank you very much.
If you say so. I'm not gonna check them.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Are you uncomfortable enough yet, Robert?
No, I'm good.
He's been listening to us for years. He's used to this.
Oh man, no.
I sat through Gods of Egypt.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that movie sucks.
I wasn't on that one, and I am glad. I still have not seen that movie.
You're better off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna watch it at some point though, because it looks just ridiculous. So
hey, if we get to $150 a month on the Patreon, Jen will watch Gods of Egypt.
What? No, I said I'd watch Cats.
Well, congratulations! I've now added another thing you will do.
I was just gonna watch that on my own because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Jen,
hence why I was on this show for 10 years.
Jeez. Fine. Fine. Since you said that, instead, if we get to $150 per month on our Patreon, Jen will watch Mac and Me 15 times in a row.
Jesus fucking Christ. No, I haven't even had to watch that once, so go fuck yourself. Never happening. Never happening. I wasn't on that episode.
Sacrifices.
Thank goodness.
I'd like a little bit more Ted from you at the moment, and a little less anyone else in that movie.
Who?
Ted. We literally just talked about him. The wet blanket.
Oh,
Less
right.
Ted,
His name. Sorry. Osborne.
More Ted, less other.
Osborne.
Yeah.
Osborne. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I forgot he had a first name.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, never mind. We're going to move forward. Robert, let us know your final thought and grade for this horrific film.
I'm hoping somebody had to do community service for this one. Oh. You okay there, Jen?
No, you almost killed Jen.
I'm just fine. Just fine. Nothing happened there. Nothing happened there at all.
Are you sure?
Yep. Didn't even choke on it. Yeah.
Skills.
All right, plow forward because I don't want this to be the same length of the movie.
That was my final thought.
Then what's your grade?
Okay. A solid D.
Fair point. Okay. Jen, final thought and grade, go.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna completely concur with Robert. It, as I said earlier, is basically just kind of a mid-bad movie. Like, it's a bad movie, but, like, not... It's mostly shruggable, and it wasn't even torturous, really. It was just meh. So, I also am giving it a D.
Down to
It's
you,
up
Sean.
to you to give it a scathing final review, Duke.
Look, I'm going to tell you this much. This podcast was way more fun than watching the movie.
Yes.
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 That is going to be my measure. Because if we just had if it was fun, but it was like not dramatically more, that's like D plus, maybe C minus territory. But I actually don't want to watch this movie again. But I get the joy of listening to this podcast when I edit it again. So for that reason, I'm giving it an F. It's not good. This movie sucks.
Yeah, it honestly could have cut off after the Singapore scene and it would have been perfectly fine.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the racism. It's so racist.
It's okay, yes. On one hand,
time.
it is.
We have no time.
We have time. We have time. You can cut this back in earlier. Okay.
No,
yes,
I'm not doing that. Just go.
It is racist, but it's nowhere near what it could have been for the era that it was written in. And honestly, the Laskies, because and which is a term that was used for hundreds of years, it's just gone out of favor. They're Indian seamen and militia. East Asian, Southeast Asian, specifically sailors who worked for primarily British sailing companies for hundreds of years. They are never, at least, the racism is that the situation was racist and colonial, period. Like, the treatment of Laskies was horrible. This film, in some cases, is just, like, patterning that. But to be honest, they're the most intelligent people in this movie. Maybe other than Fairbanks. Yeah, no, like the second that they realize that the boat is headed towards this island, they're like, dude, guys, our parents told us not to go to this island. We should really not go to this island. We should probably stage a mutiny. And they do. They don't win, but they do. They're treated like shit throughout the film because they're treated as expendable, right? Which is fucking terrible. It was terrible that Laskies of the time were also treated as expendable, right? But in the sense that, like, you want to be, like, cringing because they're saying super racist stuff constantly about them, that doesn't really happen. Like, to the extent that I have seen it in a lot of other 1940s films. Sure. Which I was really thankful for because it could have been really, really awful. And you do at least get, like, the sense that, like, oh, these guys are actually the most intelligent people of the entire film. Why, gods, are you not listening to them? And they, like, the ones that end up going to the island all tragically die doing exactly what they should have done, which was trying to escape.
Yeah.
So, like, I just wanted to applaud them through the entire film. I'm like, yes! I want them to win. Let them win.
Yes. They deserve to take that ship over.
They did.
But
they did.
The captain is a racist bully.
Yeah, he is.
Jerk. Okay, we have a D- average, but we are now done. So we are closing this out. There will be no more commentary from this moment on. So, folks at home, if you would like to let us know what you thought about this episode or have thoughts about this movie, you can go to skiffyandfanty@gmail.com and email that stuff to us, and we'll read it or something. If you are in our Discord already, you can obviously talk in our show discussion channel, if you like. We're on Blue Sky, Threads, Mastodon, YouTube, a whole bunch of other places. If you'd like to find those, that's skiffyandfanty.com/skiffythings. Excuse me while air bubbles come out of my throat. Don't miss us every Friday, 7 p.m. Central on Twitch for our live show, which folks are presently here with us for. That is at twitch.tv/alphabetstreams. And then if you like what we do, please spread the word about our show. If you are on socials, share our new episodes, tell people about our show, review us on the apps. And then if you are so inclined, $1 a month is all it takes. Patreon.com/skiffyandfanty. That helps us pay for all of the stuff, like all the security snafus we just dealt with. So there you go.
That's you, Robert.
Robert, it's you.
Sorry. I have lines. Thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, including Andrea the Alluring, Cameron the Chthonic, Caroline the Benevolent, Carrie the Divine, Chris the Condescent, Dan the Transient, who made us watch this movie apparently, Daniel the Cultured, David the Debonair, JC the Jocular, Jeff the Gracious,
Joseph the Jovial, Juan the Junctional? Who picked that name?
You're not around anymore, so you shut up.
Juan the Junctional. It's a very good name. I'm sorry. KB the Kind, Karen the Kick-Ass, Kat the Kinematic, Matthew the Magnificent, Paul the Pious, Phoebe the Eloquent, Robert the Riveting, our very own guest, Robin the Bold,
and Ryan the Resilient, Sarah A. the Sensational, Sarah E. the Sublime, Sarah O. the Rapturous, Scott the Gentleman, Stephen the Strange, Tari the Thorough, Tanya the Triumphant, Trish the Imperturbable, and Victor the Valiant. So thanks all very, very much. If you'd like to find me, SeanDuke.net or SeanDuke.net/DukeThings if you want to find on my socials. I am obviously on this Twitch channel every Wednesday and Sunday at 6 p.m. Central. That is Alphabet Streams on Twitch. So please come check out my stuff and, go follow my YouTube channel. I release gaming stuff.
You can find me absolutely nowhere anymore because I'm no longer associating my name with any type of social media.
That would be why I couldn't ping you in the post.
Exactly.
You suck.
I'm incognito.
No,
if
you're
you know
not.
who I am,
Everybody
you
knows
know
where
who
you
I
live.
am.
Everybody
If you
knows.
know who I am, you know who I am and where to find me. If you don't, then go away. I don't want to talk to you anyway.
Okay, well, you can go to the new Blue Sky account, jenzinksightings.bsky.social, where I will be posting possibly true sightings of Jen in the wild.
Photography by Ted Osborne.
And you can find me, I'm usually hanging out on Threads as RE_Chunker. I'm always up for talking comics, movies, and TV.
Cool. And Robert, thank you. You came on the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. That was great. That was yay.
It was a lot of fun.
63 points. And you got a rough one to be on because it's Jen and me together, which, it's the Jabberwocky herself. Yeah. Well, folks, as required by the Skiffy and Fanny bylaws, I must make this happy. And so I would let everybody know that Jen has already agreed to this, and any protestation that she makes at this moment is a lie. I have purchased a T-Rex suit that Jen will wear in the new production coming from Skiffy and Fanty Productions called Unknown Island. We will be remaking this film together, and Jen will be playing a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I
This
like
Tyrannosaurus has movable appendages.
Arrgh. That's actually a zombie from Joss Whedon's company, but I still quote the zombie because it's like the perfect T-Rex sound.
We will be dubbing Jen in this, so. And on that note, happy ending and scene. If you want to support this show, you can go to patreon.com/skiffyandfanty or skiffyandfanty.com, our website, where you can get access to all of our fancy things. Our music comes from Holy Mole. You can support him and his work at patreon.com/holymole. Thank you for listening.